Coming up on AgweekTV, highly pathogenic avian influenza continues to take a toll on flocks across the country. We'll see what's being done to try to stop it. Our AgWeek Livestock Tour takes us to the home of some of the world's best Black Angus genetics.
At the International Sugarbeet Institute, we'll hear the latest in politics from Washington, D.C.
And we'll see what's being done to lower nitrate levels in drinking water. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. Highly pathogenic avian influenza continues to ravage poultry barns and grocery store aisles across the country. I take a closer look in this week's AgWeek cover story. The spread of HPAI began in 2022 in the United States, when it was brought over by a movement of wild birds, primarily from Europe and Asia. Due to the constant movement of wild birds, the virus cannot just be eradicated.
Trying to do with stamping out is we're removing those susceptible hosts so that we can prevent the spread of infection to those other birds. And we're removing them even if they're not infected, because when they're in close contact, we don't have any way to stop the infection from flowing to them.
HPAI used to spread more throughout the fall and spring months due to bird migration, but that is no longer the case.
But what we're seeing now, with the addition both of a source in cattle and probably sources in other peri-domestic animals and mammals like skunks, raccoons, pigeons, starlings, that we're seeing more or less of a seasonality. So we all were shocked here in Minnesota when we had a high PathAI case in January.
Some people believe grocery stores are making an immense profit since the price of eggs has gone up. But that couldn't be farther from the truth for rural grocery stores in North Dakota.
They're actually making a small margin now, 4%. I think one of them said, well, that's a very small margin. Rural grocery stores they're in a stressful situation right now. The state of North Dakota, the legislature is working on programs to help. We have food deserts already in the state, and if things don't turn around, we will probably have more, because it's the pressure on these rural stores is pretty intense.
If the price of eggs is too high for some, there are some swaps for eggs that can be done when in the kitchen.
Maybe the most interesting one that's been getting a lot of news lately is aquafaba, and that's actually the liquid around beans and other pulse foods such as chickpeas, which are also garbanzo beans, and you can substitute pretty much about a quarter cup for one egg.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Trade tariffs and the Farm Bill are on the minds of growers at the International Sugarbeet Institute this week in Fargo. Jenny Schleck talked with the keynote speaker about those topics and has more.
Thanks, Emily. I'm here with Jim Wiesemeyer, a Washington policy analyst for Pro Farmer. And Jim, you're the keynote speaker here at the International Sugarbeet Institute today, and you talked about April 2nd being a defining day for trade. What do you see happening?
That's when President Trump is going to release some of the details, I don't think all of them, relative to what he calls his reciprocal trade agreement policy, reciprocity. And I think he has a moral high ground on that one. He probably should have started it that way as trade policy. And by that, he means he's telling countries, look, treat us the same way we treat you. In the case of Europe, they have far higher import tariffs on American cars than we do on European cars. In the case of Brazil, Brazil has an 18% tariff on U.S. corn-based ethanol, and we have a import tariff for them of around 2.5%. So you can see, actually, if it works, we could actually see lower tariffs.
we're all waiting to hear if we're ever going to get a farm bill, if we're ever going to make any motions toward getting a farm bill. And you think that could come in budget reconciliation in some way. Tell us about that.
Yes, I think there's low odds that we'll have a standalone farm bill because I don't see an agreement between the two political parties relative to food and nutrition language in the farm bill. That takes about 80% of all the spending done in the farm bill as food stamp programs, et cetera. And we saw that be a drag when Senate Ag Committee Chairwoman at the time last year, and she didn't want to compromise in that area. Now, in a budget reconciliation bill, you only need 50 votes. That means that the Republicans, because they control the White House, House, and Senate, if they can get their act together, they can have a reconciliation measure that you only need 50 votes. And that means Vice President breaks ties. It means you don't need one Democratic vote.
Now, there's a lot of uncertainty going on, a lot of things that are making people uncomfortable, a lot of fast changes, but you're pretty optimistic about the future of agriculture and ag policy.
Yeah, and it pays to be optimistic over the long haul because agriculture is still very competitive, even though we're losing some market share relative to the economic trade powerhouse called Brazil. But that means we got to utilize more of our products domestically, but you still need that export market in the case of the meat products. But the reason I continue to be optimistic is the world of protein. If you raise anything protein, and your audience does, you're in a growth market. And once we settle down, both in the U.S. and the world, and we get the economies improving again, you'll have the rise of the middle class. Now, middle class is different elsewhere than it is here, but the first thing you increase when you become a middle class, you improve your diet, and that's protein.
All right. Thank you very much, Jim. Jim Wiesemeyer, Washington Policy Analyst.
Up next on AgweekTV, our livestock tour takes us to a South Dakota ranch creating some of the world's best Black Angus genetics.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota ag bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
Whether you are a farmer moving a single piece, a contractor updating your fleet, or a large dealer needing to liquidate assets, Dagger Machinery will come to you and handle every step of the process.
Winter is here, and so are the savings. At Gateway Building Systems, take advantage of limited-time winter discounts on Brock solid grain bins, built to protect your harvest and your bottom line. Need immediate assistance? Our expert millwrights crews are available now to handle your repairs and upgrades. Schedule your preseason checkup today. Don't wait. Lock in your winter discounts. Call Gateway Building Systems at 1-800-747-4499.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
Power Rich Fertilizer is a leading provider of macro and micronutrient fertilizers customized for you. Our products, including granular and liquid foliars, are designed to enhance your crop's yield and disease resistance. We're here to help you get the most out of your crop with our incredible products. To learn more, call Steve Jerolimic at 701-799-2672. Discover the Power Rich difference. Contact us today.
The AgWeek Livestock Tour is sponsored by Jorgensen Land and Cattle and Linskov Ranch.
This week, our AgWeek Livestock Tour begins at Jorgensen Land and Cattle in Ideal, South Dakota, where we learn more about how their multi-generational family business plays a key role in creating balanced Angus genetics.
For over a century, Jorgensen Land and Cattle has been a driving force in creating some of the highest quality Angus cattle genetics.
Our footprint in the Angus world is really quite heavy, quite large.
The family consistently ranks at the top of list of the largest seed stock producers in the nation. Each year, they merchandise around 6,250 Angus bulls, with clients in 38 states. They have around 1,000 cows that are their parent stock cow herd, controlling the genetics for all the bulls merchandised throughout the year. The business also works with 20 different genetic partners, known as their multiplier herds.
They will come into, our cow herd and select the best genetics that they can, and then we will in turn buy those bull calves at weaning time and grow them and test them just like we would our own. So that's how we put so many bulls together.
94% of all registered Angus cattle today have a pedigree that touches the Jorgensen's business. The cattle on the operation go back to 5 different sire lines.
And those sire lines, the very top bull that started those sire lines, my grandpa either bred or he owned at one point in time.
Data is a very important part of creating these genetic lines.
We were taught by, our forefathers on looking at the data, understanding the data, interpreting the data, and make sound breeding decisions based on what the data is telling you.
Their goal is to create genetically balanced cattle. They believe that balanced is best when it comes to producing Angus cattle.
Angus cattle have a ton of excellent qualities, regardless. They're the breed with the trouble-free females. They're known for their carcass characteristics. And so now I think it's time that we try to get these animals extremely balanced and not swing for the fence every time and just put a bull out there that can do multiple things.
In Ideal, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
Jorgensen Land and Cattle is hosting their next bull sale on April 21st. These bulls are part of the mother load breeding program, which are created to perform well in the feedlot and also create excellent females. For the next stop, we visit a small beef farm in southeast Minnesota as it gets ready for its first harvest. Rose Dunn takes us there now.
We started off with 4 weaned heifers back in 2021.
After 4 years of learning the life cycles of beef, Pat Lineman says Caloptrix Farm will harvest for the first time this year. He says his first calving season was a real learning experience.
Third calf that first year, it was a big bull calf and he wasn't presenting right. So I called the vet and they're like, okay, you're like third on the list. We'll get there as soon as we can. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm learning how to pull a calf, So
Lineman says it was initially his wife Rachel's idea to raise cattle. She grew up on a Minnesota dairy farm and planted the idea for their family to live in the country with a small acreage. Perfect for raising their 2 boys and livestock.
We were looking at like maybe some goats or sheep just because it's maybe a little more doable when you start off. But when we decided hey, we got to get going on this,
So they jumped into grass-fed beef cattle. They got some heifers from Lineman's uncle in North Dakota and started learning as they went from family, friends, books, and experience.
People want to help you out. There's so much, farming advocates that they're just like, oh yeah, this is what you want to do, or this would be really helpful. And it's not like telling you what to do. It's just friendly advice.
And if you're wondering about the farm's unusual name, Caloptrix Farm is named after the scientific name for the damselflies that live along the edges of Waterville Creek, which runs through the middle of the farm. In Waseca, Minnesota, this is Rose Dunn for AgWeek.
In addition to their work on the farm, Pat is a former Marine who works in the library at the University of Minnesota at Mankato, and Rachel is a pharmacist. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll meet a farmer using new technology to cut costs and raise yields.
When your air seeder needs more than just a fix, trust the experts at Air Seeder Repair. We're North Dakota-based and travel across the heartland, bringing top-tier service right to your farm. Rebuilding air carts and drills to better than new, with the expertise and industry knowledge to get you back to full power in just days. We prolong your maintenance intervals by using high-quality extended wear parts and offer free on-site inspections to make sure your machinery stays in top shape. Air Seeder Repair. Fast, efficient, and better than new.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries, but like maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand,
But like maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank,
but like maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of the uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
How's the region sitting when it comes to moisture? Here's Lydia with their AgriWeather outlook.
With the way the jet stream has been situated really throughout most of the winter, but especially the past few weeks, our area has missed out on a lot of moisture, a lot of snowstorms. Look at these storm tracks over the past couple of weeks. Started off with a nasty storm system that moved through portions of Iowa toward Chicago. Minneapolis did end up with snow out of that system back on March 4th, 5th at about 9.5 inches. You'll see these storm tracks here, but keep in mind that the northwest quadrant is the area that tends to pick up the heaviest precip when it comes to low pressure systems like this. Another one slid its way up right through Minnesota, March 14th through the 15th, leaving 7 inches of snow behind in Black Duck, Minnesota. And then just within the past week, another nasty system moved through portions of Nebraska into Iowa, and Lakota, Iowa ended up with 14.5 inches of heavy, wet snow. Blizzard conditions were associated with that and actually closed a portion of I-80 in Nebraska throughout the past week. Anywhere to the north and northwest of this storm track has tended to miss out on a lot of moisture throughout really the course of the entire winter. You're looking here in the blue boxes at the season snowfall totals. 20 inches of snow so far this season in Fargo, 24.6 Grand Forks, 15.7 in Sioux Falls. And then your pink boxes is how far behind normal that is. And for a lot of us, anywhere between about 1.5 feet to 2 feet behind normal. Obviously, we don't pick up our highest amounts of moisture throughout the winter. Our highest moisture counts actually come during summer thunderstorms. But this does put us behind on moisture as well. So now this is your moisture content and how far behind we are since January 1st. So all of 2025. Over an inch, about 1.25 inches through the Fargo area, close to 1 inch in Grand Forks, about 2/3 of an inch in Sioux Falls, 0.72 out in Bismarck, about 1/2 inch in Duluth, and behind 1 inch on moisture in Minneapolis. And the latest drought monitor, of course, just adds into those conditions. Not much for change over the past week when it comes to your drought conditions. Everything's still very, very dry. Moderate drought for all those areas in tan, severe drought in the orange, and then extreme drought where you have those patches of red. As for the forecast here, over the next couple of weeks, we see the jet stream do this kind of split through the middle of the country. That will give us some mild days anytime we have the wind out of the south or southwest, but also anytime that we have the wind out of the north or the northeast, we will see our temperatures drop. A very even split going on across the middle of the country. Cooler days expected with temperatures 30s, 40s, maybe even near 50 a few days as we round out the end of March. But anytime that wind does change direction, of course, we will warm up. Now, with the jet stream situated this way, that will bring in at least some moisture chances. Expect near normal temperatures as we round out this last week of March with near normal precip chances too.
Power Rich Fertilizer is a leading provider of macro and micronutrient fertilizers customized for you. Our products, including granular and liquid foliars, are designed to enhance your crop's yield and disease resistance. We're here to help you get the most out of your crop with our incredible products. To learn more, call Steve Jerolimic at 701-799-2672. Discover the Power Rich difference. Contact us today.
Whether you are a farmer moving a single piece, a contractor updating your fleet, or a large dealer needing to liquidate assets, Dagger Machinery will come to you and handle every step of the process.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries,
But like, maybe don't.
you could plant your field by hand,
But like, maybe don't?
you could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank.
But like, maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Many producers are looking for ways to decrease their input costs without their crops and yields taking a hit. The rising cost of fertilizer is taking a toll on farmers' wallets, but one way to cut that cost is to use nano-liquid technology for more efficient delivery of nutrients to the soil. I met with Severin Anderson, a Drayton, North Dakota farmer who uses Aquayield on his acres, to learn more. When you go to apply Aquayield on your crops, how do you apply it?
Pretty much every different way. We've applied it in the spring, along with our pre-programs. We've applied it as foliar during the season, and we've applied it in the fall post-product. But the Nano CS, which is a new product we love, is mixed in with our starter and the Sugarbeets. The Nano Pro is we use with Roundup during the season to help the Roundup work better, faster, quicker, getting into the weeds quicker, killing them faster. The Nano K is showing amazing results with the Sugarbeets getting a higher sugar content. For 3 years in a row now, we've had way higher sugar than in the fields we haven't used it. And the Nano Pack is a nutrient product that we use in soybeans. The nanotechnology is able to get in the plant quicker and faster, so we apply it a couple different times throughout the year, depending on which crop it is. It's used, like I say, in spring. We use it in furrow with the Sugarbeets now, actually. We apply some of it, like I say, as a foliar late season in the Sugarbeet harvest. We apply it as a foliar and as in furrow with the beans too, so it can be used spring, fall, late fall. We've used it all the seasons.
Why is this a product you continue to use?
And we've tried a lot of different products from a lot of companies over the years, some with mild success, some with no success, and kind of all over the board. But in the 4 years we've worked with ECO, we've had such benefits from the different stuff we've done with them. There's ease of use on the farm, and they've been fun to work with. They're so helpful, and at the end of the day, it's got to make money, and it's done that for us.
Aquayield is exclusively sold by Erickson Custom Operations and their partner dealers. Please contact the number listed on your screen. Still ahead on AgweekTV, what's being done to lower nitrates in drinking water?
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
When your air seeder needs more than just a fix, trust the experts at Air Seeder Repair. We're North Dakota based and travel across the heartland, bringing top-tier service right to your farm. Rebuilding air carts and drills to better than new, with the expertise and industry knowledge to get you back to full power in just days. We prolong your maintenance intervals by using high-quality extended wear parts and offer free on-site inspections to make sure your machinery stays in top shape. Air Seeder Repair, fast, efficient, and better than new.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
Winter is here, and so are the savings. At Gateway Building Systems, take advantage of limited-time winter discounts on Brock solid grain bins, built to protect your harvest and your bottom line. Need immediate assistance? Our expert millwrights crews are available now to handle your repairs and upgrades. Schedule your pre-season checkup today. Don't wait. Lock in your winter discounts. Call Gateway Building Systems at 1-800-747-4499.
Minnesota has been trying to lower nitrogen levels in drinking water, but the progress is slow. Growers in southeast Minnesota learned about the latest regulations and policies along with nitrogen management research at a meeting in Rochester recently. The state's Department of Agriculture issued a groundwater protection rule in 2019. In November 2023, environmental groups filed a petition with the EPA to protect water quality in that region. Brad Carlson, an extension educator at the University of Minnesota, says raising awareness is key.
It used to be that when we didn't really consider nitrogen to be much of a contaminant, a lot of folks put on what they called insurance nitrogen. They put on extra knowing they didn't need it just in case. We realize now that as an industry we can't be doing that anymore.
Carlson says the state's original nutrient reduction strategy set a goal of 20% nitrate reduction in the Mississippi River by this year, but he says the actual reduction is only around 5%. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Minnesota lawmakers are at odds over the state's proposed ag budget. And AgWeek's new columnist on farmer-rancher well-being, Darla Tyler McSherry, stresses the importance of hydration. We appreciate you watching AgweekTV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.